Okay, so the things that you would need is your pot, whatever pot that you decide to use. It doesn't have to be any specific pot at all, just any type of pot that you would like to use. And this is the pot that I like. You would need your sugar. It doesn't have to be Domino's, just any type of sugar that you can get from your local grocery store. You will definitely need a candy thermometer. This is the most important thing that you need right here. Now, this candy thermometer goes all the way up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And the one that I was using before I was using my candy thermometer was this one right here. It can get the job done, but it's real iffy sometimes. And this one goes up to 550. And I realized that this one was for a meat. It was for meat. It was for cooking meat. So once I got my candy thermometer, all of my candies, apples came out perfect. You would need your spatula or wooden stick or something that will be able to get cleaned easily. And this gets cleaned easily because of the sugar and the caramelization of the candy. It just really falls off of your spatula. This is an option here. This is edible gold flakes. I just like to use this just to spruce it up, to make it look even more beautiful. This is my food coloring, and this is the food coloring that I'm going to be using. This is from americolor, and it's called Gold Sheen. Now, when you use this, you just want to shake it up really good, and you'll see the actual pigment color once it comes out from the pot. And this is also an option here. I'm just going to be sticking these on my candy apple sticks, just to make it look a little more glamorous. It just says girlfriend day at the mall. I'm doing gold, so it had gold in it. So I was just like, okay, well, why not? I had them sitting around. So I was like, well, why not use them? You would need your measuring cup. This is 1 cup. And I'll show you exactly how much to measure and everything like that. If you don't have one of these, then you can use your glass measuring cup. But the smaller one is more easier for me, so I just like to use that one. And of course, we need our apples. So my apples look like this because I had them sitting in water, and I boiled the water, and I took the hot water and I poured them into the pot, and I had them sitting. Now, this white stuff on here is the wax from the apple. So if you ever did candy apples before and your candy doesn't stick well and it just slides off, or you want to say melt off, it's because that the wax that's on the apple is not allowing anything to stay on there. So even when you go to the grocery store and you buy your apples and you eat them, you're eating the wax. So if you have time to boil your apples or have them sit in hot water for a certain period of time, maybe 15-20 minutes, it's a lot healthier than eating the wax. So you will want to have them sit out for about 24 to 48 hours. And I will show you an example of what they would look like if you buy apples and you're rushing. Now, I've did this before where I bought apples and I was in a rush for a client and I just wanted to hurry up and get her order out. That I just went to the grocery store, bought apples, rinsed them off real quick with hot water, let them dry for about 15 minutes, and I went to go dip them, and they came out looking like this. I'm going to show you. So the candy apple will have a bunch of holes in it because of the apple, it didn't dry completely. So it's just like your pores. When you take a shower, your pores doesn't close up until another 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours until your pores are officially closed. And it's the same thing with the apple. You sit it in water, the water seeps through, and then you go and put something over top of it, and it does this. So this is what your apple will look like if you're in a rush. And this is not presentable. This is really not presentable. When you have clients pay for orders, you want your apples to be perfect, right? So the perfect apple will look like this. No bubbles, no holes or anything like that. it will look just like this, where you can actually see yourself in the candy apple. Now that's a perfect apple. And if you want a tutorial on the sticks that I've done, I just put some sequins on the sticks just to give them a little bit more glamorous, so it won't just be a plain wooden stick or a popsicle stick. So just to make it look a little bit more well seen, or however you want to call it. I'm sorry, this is, I haven't done a video in so long. I'm like trying to get back in the groove of doing it. It's like, it has to all come back naturally. But so that this video doesn't. Okay guys, so now we're going to be getting started with our candy. So we have our pot. We're going to take our measuring cup, and we are just going to take 1 cup. And we're going to pour that into our pot. Now we're going to take our sugar, and you want to use more sugar than you have water. So we're going to take our cup and our sugar, and we're going to use 2 cups of sugar. Now 2 cups of sugar, 1 cup of water, and I forgot one ingredient, and that is the corn syrup. So if you don't have the corn syrup, then you can always use olive oil, and you would just need a teaspoon of olive oil or vegetable oil to apply in your candy mix. But the corn syrup is a lot easier to use, it's a lot faster, and it just comes out better with the corn syrup. And I normally know how much to measure, but I'm just going to use the measuring cup just for video purposes, and I'm going to put 3/4 of a cup. And this is what it should look like. Now we're just going to take it and we're just going to mix it all together. And now we're just going to place our heat on high, medium heat. And now this is where you would need your thermometer. You want to make sure that it doesn't touch the bottom of the pot. We'll be back within about 15 to 20 minutes when our thermometer gets up to 300 degrees. Okay, I'm coming back to show you guys. See that my thermometer is on 200 degrees right there. You can see the gray silver part right there. It's at 200, exactly 200 degrees. Now we want it to go all the way up to 300 degrees, which is right here. And this is what your candy should start looking like once it comes to a boil. Now it's not going to stay clear like this. I wish it did, but it doesn't stay clear like that. The longer it cooks, the more browner it gets. If you have little brown specks around, that's totally. I like to stir mine just so that all the sugar dissolves, because there's been plenty of times where I've made candy and it just doesn't come out right, and because I didn't stir it. Okay guys, so I'm back again showing you another update of what the candy should start looking like. And this is where all of your bubbles is going to form. that you see that the caramel is getting a little darker. This is exactly what it should look like. It's getting darker and it's getting thicker. So now you just want to go ahead and just start stirring. Check your thermometer just to make sure that, see how thick it is? It's coming up. See how thick and syrupy it is. Once you take your spatula off of it, it's nice and thick. It's a nice and thick consistency. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check my thermometer. I didn't use a lot just based off of this video. Mine is at 280 degrees, so a little ways that it can go before I can start adding the color. Okay, so my candy is now at 300 and about 315 degrees. I like to cook it just a little bit over so that just to make sure that it's done completely. So now I'm just gonna add my color and we're gonna start dipping these apples. So now I have my wax paper. Never stick your candy apples just on a dry wax paper because it will stick. You want to take some cooking spray, go ahead and spray along your wax paper, and then you're going to dip your apple, and then you're going to go ahead and lay it on your parchment paper. And once you pick it up, it won't stick at all. So we're just going to go ahead and remove our thermometer. That should be enough. And I'm just going to go ahead. It will bubble up on you. It will bubble up. Don't be afraid. It's going to do that. Okay, now we're going to be taking our apple and we're going to go ahead and dip it in our gold. And we're going to go ahead and stick it on our wax paper. And bam! There is your gold candy apple. Now I'm going to show you again. And you just want to wipe the excess off the bottom so that you don't have a big bottom. And there you have it. This is what your bottom should look like. Well, this one's still oozing off. I don't know why, but once it's dry completely, you'll just be able to pick it right up, just like that. And there you have it. They're not dry completely, so you can stick them in the refrigerator. They'll get hard faster. Or you can just have them sit out in room temperature and they'll become hard when they're ready. Okay, so now our candy is completely hard. You're not gonna be able to do anything with this. You can't reheat it unless you figure out some type of way without it burning. It's completely hard. Like, it's like stringy, right? It's really good. I'm eating a piece of it now. That's why I'm talking like this. It's really good. So what you want to do to get this out of your pot, because you haven't destroyed it, you just want to Fill it up with water. Fill it up with water. Stick it back onto your stove, and you just want to turn it on high, and the water will dissolve the candy and the sugar and everything. And once the water starts to boil, you could just go ahead and pour it out into your sink, and then go ahead and wash your pot, and that's it. Now, thank you again for tuning into my channel. I know I've been gone for a while. I am so sorry, but I'm back, and hopefully I'll be able to make as much videos as I would like to. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you, and have a blessed day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you for allowing me to reach over 1,000 subscribers within 4 months. I am truly honored and blessed, and I